together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle, joined here as always by my brother Tim. Today, it's the American League West's turn. We talk a little Houston Astros, some Seattle Mariners, some Texas Rangers, some athletics. That's still going to take me a minute.
No, Nick, screw that. Oakland Athletics. Keep moving.
Yeah, fuck it. It's the Oakland Athletics. Go fuck yourself, Fisher. There we go. That's how we started a minute in. Cool. And then the LA Angels as well. So we have all that. Tim, you want to recap yesterday on the site, and then we will get into some baseball.
Yeah. Here's all the losers from the site yesterday. All right, cool. We swept the board on the site, Nick. Much needed, and boy, was it over, chalk favorite. But it got the job done yesterday. Over in the Austin, PA Bellarmine game, Bellarmine wins 94-68, won over 144.5. Queens and Central Arkansas over 146. It finished 89-72 Queens. Over in the Ohio Central Michigan game, it finished 84-82. We got over 151.5. Northern Arizona minus 15.5. They win by 18. Marquette minus 17.5. They win by 24. San Diego State minus 18.5. They win by 23. So nice 6-0 day. And after digging a little bit of a hole, Nick, we are now profitable in 2025 on the site.
Oh yeah. And over to the chat. I'm currently making the post for the show.
And I will say the big reason why we weren't profitable up on the site was NBA, and it still is NBA. That's not going well. So I'll take credit for us being down so far. Only one person in the chat is Nicholas Handy. He's here to say hello. Hi, Nicholas Handy.
Hello, the world says hello.
All right, Nick, I'll let you start wherever you want to go.
Yeah, let's get it started here. And we start with the 7-time reigning American League West Division champions, the Big Bad Astros. Let's get into it. We have the Houston Astros. Their win total 86.5 this year. Their win they're to make the playoffs minus 165, to miss the playoffs plus 125. We have them to win the division at plus 155. To win the AL at plus 750, to win the World Series at 21-1. Let's take a look what to expect from them. Their 2025 projected payroll is 7th in all of baseball, $218 million. They had a down year last year, going 88-73 in 2024, still winning the American League West, but then getting bounced by the Detroit Tigers 2-0 in the wild card series. Last year, they were 11th in runs per game with 4.6. They were 3rd in batting average at 262, 8th in OPS 740. They hit 190 home runs, which was 9th in baseball. Stolen bases, a little bit of a struggle there, 20th at 93. Their pitching was pretty strong. They had one of the better rotations in baseball. 5th in team ERA, 3.74. A 1.24 whip, 11th in baseball. They had 73 quality starts, which was 4th in baseball, and 83 errors in the field, which was 13th. Additions for them here, not overly too many. They liked playing swap-ems with the Chicago Cubs. They signed outfielder Zach Short to a minor league deal, as well as Miguel Castro. They made the addition there for first baseman Christian Walker. And then we start the trades with the Cubbies. They get Hayden Wesneski, a starting pitcher that can kind of potentially be their swingman. their third baseman, Isaac Paredes, and their third baseman of the future, Cam Smith, who was the first-round draft pick out of Florida State for the Chicago Cubs last year. They also, in a trade from the New York Yankees, got Taylor Trammell. They acquired Brendan Rodgers to a minor league deal, and infielder Luis Guillorme to a minor league deal as well. Their subtractions, they outrighted Jose Urquidy to the minor leagues, and then they lost a bunch of guys from free agency, and I forgot to type in trades for this team because obviously they lost some pieces from trades. So let me get their trades up real quick. But lost in free agency, Justin Verlander, Jason Hayward, Yusei Kikuchi, Hector Neris, Alex Bregman, Kendall Graveman, and Caleb Ferguson. So they lost a few decent pieces there for that. But why is this not loading for trades? Trades is where they made a lot of where they lost a little bit. Why is this not working? Kyle Tucker obviously is one they lost, as well as Ryan Hesley. Why won't this load? Reliever. I think it was Hensley. They lost as well in trades. Their projected lineup does look weaker than it has in years past. Jose Altuve, Isaac Paredes, Jordan Alvarez, and Christian Walker, though, pretty solid first five. Yonder Diaz took a step up last year in the catcher's role. Shortstop Jeremy Pena, and then right fielder Chas McCormick, left fielder Ben Gamel, center fielder Jake Myers. Their outfield needs some help. And don't be surprised if this team makes a trade during the deadline or something along those lines to bolster the outfield. Their starting pitching last year was pretty strong. They returned Framer Valdez and Hunter Brown and Ronald Blanco and Spencer Arrighetti. And then they add Hayden Wesnowski as their fifth starter. Their bullpen, Sean Dubin, Forrest Whitley, Rafael Montero, who's a non-roster invite. He was outrighted to the minors, but then accepted his minor league assignment and then got the re-signed with them, got the non-roster invite, all that. Caleb Orb, Brian King, Taylor Scott, which was a really nice addition to the bullpen last year. Brian Abreu, and one of the best closers in baseball, Josh Hader. Their top prospects, that's it. That's all their top prospects is just Cam Smith, number 59 baseball, third baseman, and that was from their trade with the Chicago Cubs. They previously had nobody in the top 100 for prospects. That's what happens when you compete and you make the ALCS 7 straight years. You trade every single prospect you have away. And looking at this Houston Astros team, it feels like a team that a lot of people want to count out. A lot of people want to just toss off to the side. Oh, their dynasty is over. What? I'll tell you now, I'm going to have a unit on them to win the division again. Because one thing that I'm going to continue to bet until proven otherwise, and I've had them the last few years, I've had Astros Divisions futures. I will have Astros Division futures again this year. Now I may have a small bet on another team we'll talk about in a little bit to win the division as well. Very, very small bet though. But I think I'm just going to continue to bet the Astros to win their division until proven otherwise. Because when you look at the division, we're going to talk about the rest of this division. It's wide open, and the Astros can still very well win this by a few games.
Honestly, I don't see that. I don't see the Astros. I think, and I know a lot of people will say this, I think this is the year the Astros don't win the division. And they're the big team Y, and we'll talk about them in a couple of teams. I think this Astros team got a lot worse. I don't know if I could trust their rotation. Blanco had a good year last year, but I feel like it was more of a element of surprise type of thing because nobody really knew who he was. So I feel like that. I don't know if he could necessarily replicate what he did. Framer Valdez, I believe he's coming back from injury, isn't he? He didn't pitch like
Framer Valdez? No,
sorry, that's
Christian Javier.
Thank you. Sorry. Okay. Framer Valdez has been good. He is definitely an ace. Hunter Brown
is top 7 pitcher in baseball potentially.
Hunter Brown is a solid piece. for the first couple months of the year, and then he kind of dips down. I don't think I can. I'm not going to trust Spaghetti again this year. I just think that this rotation's kind of weak. I was hoping that they would make a move to get another pitcher. And I don't like their lineup. Christian Walker, solid. Jose Altuve, solid. Yordan Alvarez, solid. Other than that, Paredes has pop, but he strikes out a lot. I don't know. This is just not Astros team I want to go out and back. And I'll say I took their under 86.5 wins. Does that mean they still can't win the division, Nick? I think 86 wins could win you the division this year. Realistically.
Yes.
But I like another team a little bit more than the Astros. And I think the Astros actually have a down year for once.
Yeah, for me, it's until we see it. I'm just going to keep betting the Astros. They've been an absolute moneymaker for me for years now. So,
yeah, no, that's I know you do you, but I'm going to be on the opposite side.
Fair.
Astros to win the division. No thanks.
Yep.
Hello. Never mind. It's plus 125. Yeah, it's not really worth it. Yo. What's up, Mr. Crypto Knight? Welcome. All right, Nick.
Let's get into it. And is this the most frustrating team in baseball?
You can make that argument, yeah.
Let's get into it here. We have the Seattle Mariners. Their win total is 84.5. To make the playoffs, minus 105. To miss the playoffs, minus 125. To win the division, plus 210. To win the American League, 11-1. To win the World Series, 28-1. What should we expect from this team this year? Their expected payroll in 2025 ranked 16th in baseball at $152 million. They finished 85-77 last year, which was good for second in the American League West. No playoffs. They missed the playoffs there. Why? It's because of their offense. It definitely wasn't their pitching. We'll talk about their pitching in a minute. They were 21st in runs per game at 4.17. They were 28th in baseball with a 224 batting average. They were 21st in baseball with a 687 OPS. They were 11th in baseball in home runs, though, 185. 9th in stolen bases. They don't score runs, though, which sucks. Why? Look at their rotation. Look at their pitching staff. Oh, yeah. Number one in baseball in team ERA last year, 3.49. Number one in baseball in team whip, 1.08. Number one in quality starts, 92 quality starts. You won 85 games. That doesn't add up. It just doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And they were 8th in baseball with 79 errors. So, obviously, they go out and they make moves to improve their offense, right? Their best addition for an offensive bat is Donovan Solano, who will be a bench piece. That was their best addition. They also traded for Miles Mastrobuoni from the Cubs. They gave minor league deals to Drew Pomeranz and Shintaro Fujinami. That was the significant moves they made this offseason. That's it. 4 moves that I can say will have like an impact on the major league roster. Their subtractions. They non-tendered JT Chargois. They non-tendered Austin Voth. They non-tendered Sam Haggerty. They non-tendered infielder Josh Rojas. They let Justin Turner walk in free agency, which this move probably pissed me off more than anything else. He was one of the only players that I've seen in a long time get traded to Seattle and watched his numbers offensively improve in what is Coors Field for pitchers in Seattle. And you saw Justin Turner's numbers improve. So obviously he wound up sounding a really strong contract if you couldn't bring him back then, right? No, Cubs, 1 year, $6 million. You couldn't give that to Justin Turner, who hit pretty well in Seattle? They also let Yimi Garcia walk in free agency, and they outrighted Luis Arias to the minors. Their projected lineup this year, Victor Robles, who had about 2 good months with them, and they extended him because that's what they need to see in order to extend people that can actually somewhat hit in Seattle. Center fielder Julio Rodriguez, catcher Cal Raleigh, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Not a terrible start to the lineup. Luke Raley, first baseman Luke Raley, DH Mitch Haniger, shortstop J.P. Crawford, third baseman Jorge Polanco, second baseman Dylan Moore. I'm not excited about that lineup at all. However, one thing that will get me excited, how about Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, George Kirby, Bryce Miller, and Brian Woo? This team is ruining this rotation with the lineup that they're throwing out there. This is the best rotation in baseball.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I think maybe Philadelphia can have an argument with that.
No. I don't think anybody has an argument right now. And these are a bunch of no-names.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. When I say they have an argument, the Phillies and the Dodgers, they don't pitch in Seattle where the pitching conditions are significantly better than any other ballpark in baseball. Their bullpen's pretty good, too. Carlos Vargas, Gabe Spire, Edward Bazardo, Taylor Sodito, Trent Thornton, Gregory Santos, Colin Snyder, Andres Munoz. Munoz is a top 30 reliever in baseball. He's your closer. They have a lot of good in the bullpen, not a lot of great in the bullpen. That's one thing that I did notice a little bit. One thing that I will give them credit for, though, they might have one of the best prospect pools in baseball. They have 7 in the top 20, 7 in the top 100. 20th is their best, though. Shortstop, third baseman Cole Emerson, number 20 overall, expected up in 2026. Outfielder Luzardo Montes
last year.
No,
Didn't we see him? Isn't he a pitcher now?
That's Emerson Hancock.
Sorry, never mind.
Yep.
Go
He's
ahead.
a pitcher. Outfielder Luzardo Montes, the 42nd prospect in baseball, due up next year. The two we'll see this year, most likely, is according to MLB prospects. Shortstop, second baseman Cole Young, who's the 49th best prospect in baseball. They expect him up this year, as well as their top catching prospect, Harry Ford, number 65 overall. And then a lot of later guys, 74th overall prospect, shortstop Fenlon Celestin, due up in 2028. He's in rookie ball, just like Johnny Farmelo, 96th overall, the outfielder. And then Michael Arroyo, 98th prospect in baseball, second base shortstop, due up in 2026. This team is incredibly frustrating. I can only look unders. I can only look to miss the playoffs. However, is this division bad enough or good enough to really cost the Mariners that many games? Like, would it shock you to see them do exactly what they did last year? Win 85 games, miss the playoffs, finish second in this division or third in this division. Wouldn't shock me.
No.
That's why I'm ultimately staying off this team. They have, if they can get league average hitting, they're winning this division with ease. League average hitting. Here's the problem. Sure. You're not going to get that.
No, they're not.
It's just not happening, especially in Seattle. Their rotation's awesome, and it'll continue to be awesome. I can't make any moves on the Seattle Mariners team just because what do we expect from this team? Like, honestly, what do we expect from the Seattle Mariners this year that's different than the last few years, where they're only going backwards, by the way, too? Because over the last few years where we expect them to be improving, no, they're not. They're winning less games over the last few years with this core. I just can't buy into them, which sucks because I like Julio Rodriguez. I love Cal Raleigh, the big dumper. Like, he is awesome. I think he is a top 3 catcher in baseball, Cal Raleigh.
Underrated for sure. 34 homers and 100 RBIs. He was their offense
in Seattle. He did that in Seattle too.
Yeah.
So as much as I would love to buy into the Seattle Mariners team, I love their rotation. I look forward to betting under the total in a lot of their games this year. I'm just not buying into this team as a whole, though. I don't think they hit enough.
I would agree. Here's how I'm looking at this. I took one future with Seattle. I took George Kirby to win the Cy Young at 16-1. And honestly, you could tell me I took any of the 5 pitchers from Seattle to win Cy Young. All of them have a chance. For real, all of them have a shot.
You pitch in that ballpark, you absolutely do.
I just think the best odds one, although I would look either – I have Kirby. The only other one I would look at seriously is Logan Gilbert. And I've had Cy Young futures for Logan Gilbert in the past. So he's been a guy that I do like. This is by far the best rotation in baseball of a bunch of no-names. And I know some people will make arguments, although I feel like if there was a team that was the closest to competing with this rotation, it is the Yankees. And the Yankees kind of built themselves up to do that. But I'm strongly thinking that Seattle's the best rotation in baseball. Why won't they be successful? Because of the rotation, because of the batting lineup. Although I love Cal Raleigh. I think he has another massive year. J.P. Crawford cannot be worse. He had 202 and 9 homers last year. And he played almost every game. So I'm not he can be better. Plus, you get your first full season of Randy Arozarena. And you can get Julio Rodriguez, who, let's be honest, Julio had a shit year last year. 20 homers, 68 RBIs, 273 batting average. Shit year. He's going to bounce back this year. I think he is fully the guy that can bounce back. Victor Robles, I think, could have a pretty solid year. He came over. He was the one that came over from the Nationals trade. I think he could have a solid year as well. And then Mitch Garver, whatever. I think as long as he can stay consistent, he batted under 2. He batted 172 last year. If he can pick up that as their DH and hit over 200, I think Seattle's got definitely some range to move up. Is it enough for me to touch any of their futures? No. I like the next. We're going to talk about the next team. I really like the next team. But Seattle could be one of those teams that are, once again, another big boom or bust team based on their offense. And we'll see how it goes.
See, I would like to make the argument that the Mariners are the least boom bust team in all of baseball. They're going to give you 80 to 86 wins. There's no in between.
Well, I can say that yes.
If you can find somewhere to bet between 80 and 86 wins for the Seattle Mariners, bet it, because that's where they're going to land. Every year, their goal is 84 wins.
Is whether or not you're going to get your boom bust out of Arozarena, Julio Rodriguez, Robles, and Garver. And then Polanco still has a big bat that could go off too. So it is boom or bust for this team based on their offense. Because their pitching's going to be solid. They're either going to have one of the worst offenses in baseball, or they can have a complete 180 and have a solid year offensively with those players on their lineup.
Yeah. And all I'm asking for is league average for them.
Correct. Did you guys play the standalone NVA game? What's that? Oh, the NBA is back today?
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Charlotte versus the Lakers. Lakers are 12-point favorites. I'll wait for tomorrow. Woo! I'm not touching that game. I'll wait until tomorrow. Pass, lame division. Canada tomorrow.
Big time. I have plus 150 from pre-tournament, and I wanted to figure out a way to approach tomorrow's game. I'm going to do a free pick video for tonight. But for those watching now, Canada -1 at plus 166, one first score.
I'm just going to bet Seattle at home. It's not a bad option.
Yeah.
I think Julio Rodriguez has a similar year. I think he has a big...
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't see him being worse. Last year, he hit 273 with 20 homers, 68 RBIs. He wasn't great. A 734 OPS. I think Julio Rodriguez, if he has a big year, the Seattle team could be a lot better. 84 wins. Honestly,
84 wins.
That's very realistic. Over 5.5. Oh, that's hockey.
I would look towards the first period over. We've seen those hit at a really nice clip so far in the playoffs.
All right, Nick. How about my division winner?
Let's get into it. We have the Texas Rangers in this one here. We have their win total 85.5 to make the playoffs, -120 to miss the playoffs, -110. AL West 2-1, AL 9-1, World Series 24-1. Looking at their projected payroll in 2025, 6th in baseball. So they've spent some money, $222 million. Last year was a struggle for them. 4.21 runs per game, which was 18th. A 238 batting average, which was 20th. A 683 OPS, which was 24th. They had 160 home runs, which was 22nd. And they had 87 stolen bases, which was 23rd in baseball. Their pitching was not very much better. 24th in baseball with a 4.4 team ERA. 20th in baseball with a 1.3 whip. They had 54 quality starts, which was mid 16th in baseball. They were number 1 in errors committed, only 60. So defensively, they were pretty good. Holy crap, did this team make moves? It felt like to make moves at times during this offseason. Their additions: reliever Luke Jackson, reliever Scott Barlow to a minor league deal. They got relief pitcher JT Sarquois, who the Mariners let go, or non-tenured. They signed him to a minor league deal. They signed the infielder ageless wonder Nick Ahmed to a minor league deal. Infielder outfielder Sam Haggerty as well, former Mets farmhand there. The ageless wonder himself. Feels good. It's going to feel weird not seeing him pitch in Atlanta this year. Relief pitcher Jesse Chavez is still playing baseball.
Oh, well, he's going to suck this year.
Why?
Because he doesn't do well in any place besides Atlanta.
Yeah, but he is. What's that one? What was that one baseball game, Tim? That with the
Immaculate Grid.
The Immaculate Grid GOAT, Jesse Chavez.
I will say, Nick, real quick, during baseball season, we're going to have to start off each show with the Immaculate Grid. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. They also picked up a lot more relief pitching. Chris Martin, former ECU Pirate Sean Armstrong. They picked up designated hitter Jock Pederson. They picked up relief pitcher Holby Milner. They signed catcher Tucker Barnhart to a minor league deal. They picked up relief pitcher Jacob Webb. They signed Adrian Hauser to a minor league deal. They also signed catcher Kyle Higashioka to be the backup. They also got relief pitcher Luis Carvello. They traded with Washington to get Robert Garcia, and they traded with Miami to get first baseman Jake Berger. Their subtractions: Max Scherzer left in free agency, as well as Kirby Yates, Jose Urena, Andrew Heaney, relief pitcher Jose Leclerc, catcher Carson Kelly, outfielder Travis Jankowski, infielder Matt Duffy. The mutual option was declined by David Robertson. They lost Grant Anderson in a trade to Milwaukee, and they lost Nathaniel Lowe in that trade to Washington for Robert Garcia. Their projected lineup: Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Wyatt Langford, Jock Pederson, Adolis Garcia, Josh Jung, Evan Carter, Jake Berger, Jonah Heim. That's a strong lineup.
It is.
When they all reach their full potential. That's going to be the ultimate question. Talk about the ultimate question. I don't think it's reaching the full potential for the rotation. It's staying on the field. Nathan Eovaldi, Jacob deGrom, John Gray, Tyler Mahle, Cody Bradford. Their bullpen, their long guy, basically a sixth starter, Dane Dunning. Jacob Latz, Luke Jackson, Holby Miller, Sean Armstrong, Jacob Webb, Robert Garcia, Chris Martin. They basically went out and acquired their entire bullpen during the offseason.
It's not bad.
Their top prospects, there are 3 for them in the top 100, 3 of them actually in the top 50. And it starts and ends basically for me watching this year with their top prospect, number 17 in baseball. And this will give you a reason to maybe watch some Texas Rangers games in spring training here, because he is invited to spring training. Shortstop, third baseman Sebastian Walcott, 17th overall prospect in baseball, due up this year. Also, right-handed pitcher Kumar Rocker, number 44 in baseball. He is somebody that I'm definitely going to keep my eye on this year. And then also right-handed pitcher Alejandro Rosario, number 50 in baseball, due up next year in 2026. When we talk, you mentioned last team boom bust with the Seattle Mariners, and I said they're as far from. Yeah. This is the ultimate boom bust team. And my question is, does Marcus Semien bounce back after a step down last year? Does Wyatt Langford adjust himself to Major League Baseball like we saw at the end there? Does Adolis Garcia bounce back? Does Evan Carter stay healthy? Does Josh Jung stay healthy? Does Jonah Heim stay healthy? Does Nathan Eovaldi stay healthy? Does Jacob deGrom stay healthy? Does John Gray stay healthy? And even if they don't, I mean, Tyler Mahle is the same question mark as well. They have 3 or 4 pitchers in that rotation that are big question marks, which then you have Jack Leiter, you have Dane Dunning, you have Kumar Rocker that can make the rotation as well. Would not be surprised to see Rocker or one of them take over like Tyler Mahle or Cody Bradford's spot. What does this bullpen look like? Because it kind of concerns me. Chris Martin's not a closing pitcher. You lost 2 of your best relievers in the offseason, Jose Leclerc and Kirby Yates. This bullpen's going to struggle. And I think if you're going to look to bet the Texas Rangers during games this year, I'd only look at them first 5. I don't trust their bullpen right now, and I need to see it first before I believe it. And actually, I just realized we just went through all that, and I never switched the background. There we go. But yeah, I don't know what to do with this Texas Rangers team because they can win 78 games again. Or what was it last year? I forgot to list what they.
They were awful last year.
Yeah,
they were not good last year.
No, I don't. I would have to look at the standings from last year because I never typed in what they did last year. They went 78. They won 78 games last year. 78 and 84, third in the American League West. Missed the playoffs. They can win 78 games again if the players continue to do what they did last year, not stay healthy, or you can get a healthy Jacob deGrom. You can get bounce back seasons from a lot of these guys. You can get a bullpen that shows up and looks decent. You can see Wyatt Langford blossom into a star. You can see Adolis Garcia go back to his all-star form. You could see these players bounce back, Corey Seager be an MVP candidate. And this team can win 95 games, win the American League, and go back to the World Series. Mm-hmm. There is significant boom bust with the Texas Rangers. I don't know where to go with them. And I don't know if I want to take chances with them because my lean would be more towards under and no playoffs than the ceiling for them. But they also play in arguably the weakest division in or one of the weaker divisions in baseball.
Yep.
Because we know the Astros are going to take a step down this year, but they can still win the division.
Yep.
I think the only team that improved over the offseason, we'll talk about them next. Maybe the last 2 teams improved. We'll talk about them next. But for me, I don't really want much to do with this division. I think I might have 2 division shots in this one, an over-win total, and that's about it. Maybe I might add some unders and stuff like that for Seattle, but that's another team that can go either way for me. So this is a big question mark division for me, and I would love to see what happens in this one. My only thing I have any confidence in this division is that the Astros will probably end up back on top.
I could see that. The thing is, I'm going to go boom here. I think the Rangers last year coming off their World Series, they had a big World Series hangover. And when it comes to them this year, I think they could be a very strong team. Now, it does weigh on how these people stay healthy. I want to believe in Jacob deGrom having an entire year. I want to see him do well. Because, it sucks to not have Jacob deGrom at full health. And this is coming from a Mets fan that he left the Mets. I don't care. I want to see him have a good year. Nathan Eovaldi, I think, could have a nice bounce back year. But when it comes to the pitching, I don't really think it's going to matter as much because I look at the lineup. I think this could be one of the best offenses in baseball if they stay healthy. Jonah Heim had I'm going to mention this for a lot of players. He had a down year last year, 220, 13 home runs, 59 RBIs, and he missed 31 games. So he's a guy that had a little bit of a down year. He stays healthy. He could have a big year. I love Berger. He played 137 games last year for Miami. 29 homers, 76 RBIs, a 250 batting average. That's going to be a nice, solid bat that they did not have last year in the lineup. I think Marcus Semien has a big year because last year, 237, 23 homers, 74 RBIs. I think he's more than that. I think he's a guy that can pop for 30. Josh Jung, once again, needs to stay healthy, but he is a full go. He did not. Okay, good, because there was worries about him, but he is good to go. 264 last year, 7 home runs, 16 RBIs. He played in 46 games. Josh Jung was, I believe, it was an All-Star the year that they won the World Series. If he could stay healthy, he could have another All-Star type year. Corey Seager, we all know what he can do. I think you're going to get a huge year out of Wyatt Langford. He had a little bit of a rough coming up. He still hit 16 home runs last year.
Yeah,
in his rookie
can we
year.
also mention one thing about Wyatt Langford?
Yeah.
He played no minor league baseball games.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He made his professional debut with the Texas Rangers.
He went from Florida to right up. Yeah. So I think he has a solid year. Adolis Garcia and then Jock Peterson. I love that Jock Peterson pickup for him.
Yes.
I think that's going to pay dividends for him. Let's be quick. I have my 3 plays that I have for him. Over 85.5 wins to make the playoffs. Yes. And the AL, I got them to win the AL West at 250. I'm in on the Rangers to win this division. I like the Rangers in this one, Nick.
Yeah, I can see the arguments behind it. It's just, for me, it's a team that I think has too much volatility. Where, yes, for a volatile team, I mean, hell, if I'm taking futures with them, I mean, you either take alternative unders, like under 80.5 wins or something along those lines, or you take them to win the American League. I think there's really no in between with this team.
Yeah. My Yankees are going back to the World Series. Watch. I mean, the American League is so weak that it is possible, but I'm not going to be sold on your Yankees now. Hit plus 500 money line on the Gophers last night. Oh, yeah. Can I quickly mention college baseball last night, Nick? Because I had a good night in college baseball. Where is my? There, I could click on here. And it was a lot of nice plus monies. I went 5-5 last night in college baseball, Nick. I was up 3.6 units. Liberty Bibberty, nice plus 220. UNC Greensboro 240. FAU 140. Southern Miss 105. Texas State plus 190. Was so close on Jacksonville. They were winning for a while. Kennesaw State was up 4-0 for a while. They were 2-1. They blew it. UNCW was up for a little bit. They blew it. But there was a lot of I mean, I could have possibly had an even bigger day, but back in the profit in college baseball. Sorry, he mentioned Gophers, so I reminded me of that one.
There you go.
Nice. Lakers winning NBA championship. No. Rice versus UAB. Pass. Stop it. Card collector, give me your money. Card collector, if you want, I'll take your action. If you wanna bet on what is it? You want the Yankees to make the World Series? I'll take them to miss the World Series. Just let me know. Thanks, Aubrey. What's up, boys? What's up? Wine time. Supness. What's up, Nick? Supness Lex. By the way, Aubrey, I seen your fist name, though it was in Drake. It was Drake in chat. Interesting. Wednesdays are boom boom. Oh snap. WA. Wow. Am I slow?
Yeah.
New Mexico and Boise State. I don't think we have anything on that game. Fix the background. Yes, no, we got it. We're good. We're going to surprise y'all. Yeah, we lost Soto, but we claimed some very.
You're not surprising nobody. You're favorites to win the division. You're probably you're one of, if not the favorite to win the American League. You're not surprising anybody.
Yeah,
you're the New York Yankees. You should be good.
Yeah, the Yankees can never surprise anybody. So nice try.
No, they're never a sneaky team.
Adding Dominguez and Rice. And now we have a chance to.
Rice is a minor league hitter. I'm not sold on Rice.
Okay.
The main
Yankees.
guys I need to see it first.
Okay, let me just address. Yankees are not getting Devers. He's staying put. And,
Devers is not going anywhere.
And Vladdy's not going to the Yankees.
Vladdy even said a couple years ago that he's never going to the Yankees.
So nice. It's very optimistic, but yeah.
It's never happening.
Okay, we're not gonna mention that. We ain't done. You're the Yankees. You should be in it every year. You're the fucking Yankees. You guys can't act like you're the underdogs. You're not. Oh, I hate this division. This division is kind of rough. Besides, we're in the American League. Who's going to stop us? That's the point. If you're in the National League...
That's our point. I think the Boston Red Sox have the best chance to stop you guys.
If you guys were in the National League, there's a decent shot that you probably don't even make the playoffs.
Yes, because I would have the Mets over them. I would have the Braves over them. I would have the Phillies over them. I would have Brewers and Cubs. Cubs are iffy. Never mind on the Cubs there. But the Dodgers over them. And you can make the arguments the Padres too. And the Diamondbacks.
Yeah. Probably won't bet it. White Sox.
White Sox.
White Sox.
I love it. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned it during this AL Central show. Coyote. I moved on Noah Schultz at 60-1 to win the Rookie of the Year. I put a 10th of a unit on it. I have a couple bombs that I'm going to put on. That I'm going to bet for futures.
Red Sox or Blue Jays. Red Sox, yes. Blue Jays, no. Should fix their problems with Devers before considering beating anyone. I'm not worried about that.
No, we're only talking about that because it's early February and we need something to talk about.
Yes, Rangers win the division. Same with Blue Jays and Vladdy. I don't think the Blue Jays will
be a Dodger. We all know it.
Huh?
Vladdy will be a Dodger. We all know it.
Rangers. Red Sox winning the division. I think the Red Sox win the division. All in. Yeah, fuck the Yanks. Plus Texas Rangers to not make the playoffs. I disagree. I like the Texas Rangers.
I mean, yeah.
McDavid, 3+ points. When is this USA game, Nick?
It's tomorrow.
Okay. Stop yapping. When did Burger Rangers happen? Over the offseason.
Over the offseason, they traded with Miami for it. Yep.
Y'all are crazy, or are we missing the best team in the MLB, the Athletics, to win the division?
Hey, we're talking about them next. And
we're talking about them next.
I've got some opinions on that team. I have two things I'm moving on with them.
White Sox have a AAA roster. Yes, they do. Put 300 on Canada. Wish me luck. Card collector, you better be here when we play the Yankees. Canada loses again today.
I will guarantee you Canada does not lose today. I will guarantee it.
Because they don't play today.
They play tomorrow.
Yeah. We own the Yankees. Going to Florida today. Finally get out of the dump of the city. There you go. I'll take whatever bet. The American League is pitiful. We own the Guardians, who just lost Naylor's brother. Astros lost Kyle Tucker, heading into reconstruction with no Bregman. Orioles always choke.
Forgot the Red Sox.
Hump day.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Is it? Maybe. That was misquote. Vlad backtrack said he.
Whatever you need to say.
What if Judge gets hurt? Then what?
If Judge gets hurt, they're a sub 500 baseball team.
It's all Yankees fans, not even just Mr. Numbers, right? The National League is stacked, but come on, Philly and Cubs. Cubs have the potential to be big, and Cubs
have the upside. The Phillies just won the division, and they were the number 2 seed in the National League. So what's your point there? And they didn't lose anything. They gained in the offseason.
Yeah. I don't know. 60-1 I'm in. Yep. Cubs just signed Nicky Lopez. They're desperate. Tim, make that bet with him. I'll take the Yankees not to make the World Series. There you go. I'm scared to mention the Red Sox right now because they honestly are a sleeping giant.
Their lineup is sick, and that's not even including Roman Anthony, Christian Campbell, and Marcelo Meyer, who will probably be up in the major leagues this year. Like Roman Anthony could can be a runaway for Rookie of the Year this year. He's that good.
There you go. If I'm being totally honest, I can't wait to be against.
I can't wait to bet unders in Yankee games. Unders, because their rotation's awesome. Their bullpen's awesome. Their offense has fallen off a cliff. Losing Soto, losing Gleyber Torres on the top of that. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. All right, my favorite team to talk about. Let's do it. It's the Oakland Athletics. Fuck you, Fisher. It's the Oakland Athletics. It'll always be the Oakland Athletics. Rocking them today. Let's get into it, though. Their win total, 71.5. To make the playoffs, plus 550. Yes. Minus 1,000, no. To win the American League West, 25-1. I found bigger prices out there, though. AL champs, 70-1. World Series champs, 200-1. Let's take a look at them here. I would like to give a huge shout out to the Athletics. They are not the lowest payroll in baseball. They're 29th, $74 million, because they had to spend money unless they were going to get a grievance filed against them by the MLB PA. They last year, 3.97 runs per game, which was 25th, 233 batting average, 24th, 694 OPS, which was 19th, 196 home runs, which was 6th, 98 stolen bases, which was 19th. Their pitching struggled. They gave up 4.37 runs per game, which was 23rd, a 1.33 whip, 25th, 45 quality starts, 26th, 14th in errors, 84. They made some nice additions in the offseason. They acquired infielder Luis Urias. They got relief pitcher Jose Leclerc. They acquired third baseman Gio Urshela. They gave the largest contract in franchise history to starting pitcher Luis Severino. They acquired Jeffrey Springs from the Tampa Bay Rays. Love that move. We'll talk about that in a minute. They also acquired in that trade Jacob Lopez, starting pitcher, and then relief. They got from the Atlanta Braves relief pitcher Jared Johnson. For subtractions, also for additions, they extended Brent Rooker. Hell yeah, they extended Brent Rooker. Love that.
That was a crazy contract. That was like so. It was like such a small contract. You got to
keep in mind, but you got to keep in mind, Brent Rooker almost went to Korea or Japan a couple times. Like he questioned baseball a few times. You went from that to hitting over a 900 OPS and getting a long-term extension, which solidifies your financial future for him.
Yeah,
I couldn't be happier for Brent Rooker. But subtractions, they non-tendered relief pitcher Danny Jimenez. They lost in free agency relief pitcher Scott Alexander, starting pitcher Ross Stripling, starting pitcher Alex Wood, relief pitcher Trevor Gott. They outrighted Kyle Mueller to the minor leagues, as well as relief pitcher Austin Adams. They traded Joe Boyle, Jacob Waters, and Will Simpson in that trade for Jeffrey Springs and Jacob Lopez. They traded infielder Nick Allen to the Atlanta Braves in the trade that got them Jared Johnson. And then they also acquired outfielder Daz Cameron. They lost as outfielder Daz Cameron to Baltimore for cash. Their lineup is sneaky. I love it, honestly. Right fielder Lawrence Butler, who broke out last year. Brent Rooker, who is up. I would like to make the argument that he is a top 15 hitter in baseball right now. Just pure hitter. He had an over 900 OPS, which very few players did last year. The only people above him were like Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani and like the elite of the elite. Somehow he wasn't an all-star, but that is what it is. Center fielder J.J. Bleday. Catcher Shea Langoliers. First baseman Tyler Soderstrom. Second baseman Zach Geloff. Left fielder Seth Brown. Third baseman Gio Urshela. And shortstop Jacob Wilson. I like Jacob Wilson. He's one of their top prospects. We'll talk about him again in a minute. Their rotation improved. Luis Severino is headlining it, and Jeffrey Springs is your 2. I like it. JP Sears is your 3. Oswaldo Beto is your 4. Mitch Spence is your 5. And then in the wings, for in case of injuries, is Hogan Harris. There's also Joey Estes as well. Also in their bullpen, Noah Murdoch, Grant Holman, TJ McFarland, they extended him, or they re-signed him. Michael Ortanes, Tyler Ferguson, and probably one of the more underrated 8-9 punches in baseball, Jose Leclerc and Mason Miller. How awesome is the end of that? Like, I think if the Oakland A's or the Athletics are leading heading into the 8th inning, they can easily shut the game down with Leclerc and with Mason Miller. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Looking at their top prospects, they got 2. And one's due up this year, Jacob Wilson. He'll probably be the starting shortstop from day one. He's the 31st overall prospect in baseball. The other one, we might see towards the end of the year. They're projecting him for 2026 as the 38th overall prospect in baseball. It was their first-round pick, first baseman Nick Kurtz from Wake Forest, who had a really strong year with the Demon Deacons last season. This is going to be such a fun team. This is where my only win total is coming from in this division. This is entirely too low. And I want to take a look maybe for a half unit sprinkle because I'm this high on this team, 80+ wins for the Oakland Athletics. I think this team, with how wide open this division is, and I project for the Rangers to be a little bit more of a bust team, and I think we could see a step down with the Astros. The Mariners I do not trust. How about a little bit of the Athletics to win the American League West? I put 1/10 of a unit on it. 30-1 over on ESPN bet. Just a small 1/10 of a unit bet. 30-1 though. They're plus 360 to win 80+ games in 2025. I think that's worth the sprinkle as well. I'm on the over, 71.5 wins, and the smallest of sprinkles. Like, this is not one where I'm going to lose sleep if I lose the bet at the end of the night. I have as much on this as I do Noah Schultz to win the Rookie of the Year. And no, that was the only 0.1 unit bet I think I have right now. Yeah. So I have as much on the Athletics to win the West as I do Noah Schultz to win the Rookie of the Year. Just 0.1 units. Very, very small. I'm also going to be on over 71. I'm at 70.5 wins. It's minus 130 over on ESPN bet.
I wanted to look towards a player future, but I don't really see any good player futures for the Oakland Athletics that I think is actually worth it. Maybe like Lawrence Butler stolen bases or something like that could be interesting. But I will be quick with this. I'm taking their over. This is at Oakland Athletics team. Yes, Oakland. I don't care. Oakland Athletics. That has improved a lot since last year. They picked up some nice pieces. I think their rotation's pretty strong. Obviously, we saw what Sevy did last year. If Springs can stay healthy, solid. JP Sears, solid. I think that's a really good top 3. Am I doing anything more than over 70.5 wins? No, I'm not. I don't think I can do anything more than over 70.5 wins. But this is an Oakland Athletics team that's going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. I know me and you are going to be betting them a lot. Yes. And when it comes to it, I think they're going to be a moneymaker for us. So, I like the Oakland Athletics this year. I'm taking them over 70.5. 70.5 wins.
I want to slide something over to you. You said you wanted a player future for this team. How about a little bit of a long shot? The 35-1 odds bet.
No, I'm not taking Brent Rooker MVP.
True, he's a DH. I think that's the only thing holding him back. What if I'm going to look up a future when you go over the chat here. Actually, a couple of them. Okay, that one's only 4-1. Mason Miller to win reliever of the year, I think is worth a look. Or to lead the league in saves is 14-1. Because I think if the Athletics win games, they'll be close games. So Mason Miller to lead the league in saves is 14-1. I don't hate that. And maybe if you want to bet Brent Rooker without anything like that, I like somebody else when it comes to this bet. But at 30-1 to hit the most home runs in baseball this year, I think Brent Rooker is worth a look. I like somebody else that we'll talk about in the last division. Cough, cough, Pete Alonso, but that's beyond the point, which is 19-1. But Brent Rooker, 30-1 to lead the league in home runs. Mason Miller, 4-1 reliever of the year, 14-1 to lead the league in saves. I don't mind any of those. He's one of the nastiest fastballs in baseball.
Yeah, for real. I hope that lineup does not wake up. Last year, they were held back by injuries, too. They were still tough.
Yeah.
Let's get to these A's. Yeah, it's A's. Okay, explain why y'all signed Luis for that much.
Pretty simple. They needed to. Basically, the MLB gave him a gift card and said, you need to spend this amount of money. And unless you don't get to be a part of the revenue sharing for baseball, which is where Oakland lives.
Exactly. Holy shit, the Athletics decided to spend. I'm happy, but also mad they didn't do it in Oakland. Oakland over wins, yes. Shane Langeliers, that dude is the best catcher in this division, not Cal.
Oh, I would have Langeliers third in the division for catchers, maybe fourth. Jonah Heim has something to say about it. And even potentially fifth. I mean, Logan O'Hoppe could have something to say about that too. Yonder Diaz has something to say about that. Cal Raleigh has something to say about that.
There you go. All right, Nick, we'll head to this team, which I'll say I have nothing for futures with.
This team confuses me every single year, and I don't know what to do with them. Let's talk about them. We have the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Their win total, 71.5. To make the playoffs, plus 650. To miss the playoffs, minus 1,400. To win the AL West, forgot to switch that over. Still said Central.
Oh, shoot. I know I forgot something.
To win the AL West, 25-1. To win the AL, 70-1. To win the World Series, 200-1. What did they do last year? They finished last place in the American League West, 63-99. They heading into 2025. Their projected payroll is 11th in baseball, $193 million. Last year was a struggle for them. They were 26th in runs scored per game at 3.94, 27th in batting average at 229, 26th in OPS, 672, 24th in home runs, 157, 13th in stolen bases, 123. Their pitching was not much better. They're 25th in team ERA, the 4.51. They are 24th in team WHIP on 1.33. They had 51 quality starts, which was 19th, and 83 errors, which was 12th. Additions, it felt like they made additions to make additions. They acquired relief pitcher Kenley Jansen, infielder Yohan Moncada, infielder Tim Anderson. They signed him to a minor league deal. They signed first baseman, third baseman J.D. Davis to a minor league deal, starting pitcher Dakota Hudson to a minor league deal, infielder Carter Kieboom to a minor league deal. They signed a 3-year contract with Yusei Kikuchi. They acquired infielder Kevin Newman. They acquired catcher Travis d'Arnaud. He's still pitching. They acquired starting pitcher Kyle Hendricks. They got Jorge Soler in a trade from Atlanta. And they also from a trade, that was with Philadelphia, Scott Kingery as well. They acquired in the offseason. For their subtractions, they non-tenured Pablo Sandoval as well as Eric Wagaman. They released starting pitcher, relief pitcher Kenny Rosenberg, and then they lost in free agency Matt Moore, Hunter Strickland, 2 relief pitchers there, infielder Brendan Drury, and outfielder Kevin Pillar. They outrighted starting pitcher, relief pitcher Carson Fulmer to the minors, as well as infielder Michael Stefanik. They traded Matt Tice to the Chicago Cubs for cash, and they traded Griffin Canning to Atlanta in that trade for Jorge Soler, where the Atlanta Braves would non-tender Griffin Canning and get rid of him, or designate for assignment, either one. Their lineup: Taylor Ward leading off in left field, second baseman Luis Rengifo, right fielder Mike Trout, designated hitter Jorge Soler, first baseman Noah Schanuel, catcher Logan O'Hoppe, third baseman Yohan Moncada, center fielder. This team is still obsessed with Joe Adell. I don't get it. And then shortstop, Tim Anderson. Their rotation, Yusei Kikuchi, Jose Soriano, Tyler Anderson, Kyle Hendricks, Reed Detmers. Their bullpen, Garrett McDaniels, Jose Suarez, Hans Gross, Jose Quijada, Ryan Zephyrhan, Brock Burke, Kenley Jansen, and one player that I will tune in every single time I see his name pitching on the mound for the LA Angels, Ben Joyce. Yes. This guy's got a monster arm. I was listening to a couple people break him down a little bit. And in his last appearance of the year, the Angels were in the thick of a playoff race and everything along those lines, and he was sitting 104 miles an hour. Oh, wait, no, it was a meaningless baseball game, and the guy was sitting 104 miles an hour. And one thing I kind of found interesting that they were describing with Ben Joyce, he pitches to contact. At 105 miles an hour, he pitches to contact. How? Simple. Players don't get that great of contact against it because they're trying to time up 105. Good luck on that one. And when they do, they don't barrel it. So Ben Joyce is somebody who can really light the world on fire. If only he was not an Angel, it would be so great. But he gives a reason for Angels fans to watch baseball with him. Obviously, there's the few question marks. With the top one being how long until Mike Trout gets hurt again, which is unbelievably frustrating as a baseball fan to continuously see this guy get hurt year in, year out.
Yeah.
When this guy was and he's still a Hall of Famer. Don't get me wrong. He's still a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
But I think if he was able to stay healthy through his career, we'd be talking about the best player in baseball history. Like, he had the potential to do that. And it's just unfortunate. Looking at their top prospects, they have two. We saw one last year, Caden Dana. He says 78th overall prospect, right-handed pitcher. Expect him to pitch a little bit this year. And because they're psychopaths, their top prospect is number 68 in baseball, second baseman out of Tennessee, their first-round draft pick last year, Christian Moore. He's going to play Major League Baseball this year. Just when.
He's already with the team for spring training.
Yeah, he's a non-roster invite, and he made it all the way up to Double-A last year. Which, you know, the Angels, it goes high A, double A, major leagues.
Pretty much.
Like, I don't know. Like, and I wonder if you're an Angels prospect and you're in the minor leagues for more than a year and a half, do you think your career's over?
Right.
Like, what? This team is psychopathic. They draft MLB ready college players and rush them as fast as they can to the major leagues. That's the MO for the LA Angels, and it's crazy to watch. Your guess is as good as mine. Here's one prop. If you can find it, I will definitely take. I know their win totals are the same. Basically, their odds for everything is the same, other than it's slightly better odds for the Angels to make the playoffs than it is the Athletics. If you can find me odds on the Athletics to have a better record than the LA Angels, I will bet multiple units on that. I think it's pretty clear and obvious the Oakland A's are a better team than the LA Angels. I think this team still finishes last in the American League West. And maybe that's the way to bet it. It's just bet this team to finish last again. But I think they can improve from like 99 losses to 93 losses. But, this team is under or no bet for me. I think this is still a 90-plus loss team. I get it. They tried to improve. I don't believe them. And this team doesn't know how to develop talent at all. I'm counting down the days till Reed Detmers is no longer in Anaheim. Because I'm telling you right now, he is bet on when he gets out of that hellhole.
Yes.
How do you send him down to the PCL of all leagues last year for development when that's an even worse hitting environment than major leagues? Like, this team makes no sense. And when you look at their lineup, this team is awesome. Back in 2019, like Tim Anderson, Joe Adell, Yohan Moncada, Jorge Soler. Like,
I'm excited to see what Zach Neto does still.
He's hurt.
He's hurt right now, but when he comes back,
miss the first month or so. But yeah, Zach Neto has been one of the bright sides of this team. One of the results of rushing a player up to the major leagues that worked.
Yep.
But yeah, for me, the only things I'm going to have in this division are Astros to win the division, Oakland A's over, and a small bet on them to win the division at 30-1. That's it.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking anything with the Angels. They're another team that I'm just gonna keep completely off. There's nothing that I feel is worth it to go after with the Angels. So I'm gonna end the show off with a pass. This is one of the biggest like question mark teams this year. I'm not gonna say they're boom bust because they're not. They're not gonna be good. We know this. There's some exciting pieces on there. Ben Joyce, I remember watching him pitch in Omaha for Tennessee, and that's when he was a starter, throwing 105 for 6-7 innings. And now he's back. Now he's where he belongs in the bullpen because his stuff is nasty. I'm excited for Zach Neto. Other than that, there's nothing. And you know what? I'll be excited for Yusei Kikuchi to see what he's got still. Other than that, I got nothing for this. I don't need to get involved in the Angels at all.
Fair.
Mike Trout. I hope Mike Trout has a completely healthy year, and they're moving him over to right field so he puts a little bit less on his body. I don't really think it's gonna make a difference. I have a bad feeling that once again he doesn't play a complete year.
Wow.
I hope I'm wrong, but.
All right, and I got a question. I have a couple questions, and it's Mike Trout related, and then we can head on out.
Okay.
How many games does he play?
I think you could set the line at over under half a season.
Okay. I got 3 questions. That was the first one.
Okay.
Who gets hurt first? Mike Trout or Jacob deGrom?
Trout. Although, okay, I don't want any of those players to get injured.
I know. I'm just because we know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And then the last one. What do you think Mike Trout's odds are to win the MVP?
They're probably like 18 or 20-1.
16-1. Yep.
Yeah. Because it's still Mike Trout at the end of the day.
I'm not falling for that again this year.
Nope. That is everything for the AL West show. I will say we have a bunch. All of our college basketball plays are up on the site. There's a bunch of them today. They're up on the site, and I know what we're doing on there is we have a 3-pack on the site where if you go and you get it, come DM me on Twitter, and I'll send you the complete rest of the card for free. It's kind of our way of getting around it because we're only allowed to put 3-packs up. So if you guys are interested in that, or become a member of the YouTube channel on Earle Sports Bets. If you become a member of the YouTube channel on ESB, $5.99 a month, 16 cents a day. We'll get you there. But that's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll be back tomorrow with some NBA action because there's a 9-game NBA card tomorrow. So, but that will do it for this one, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys.